Hi, Sophia. Can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, apparently my connection isn't good. We'll figure it out.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Hi, Linda. I see you. Wait a minute. Oh, golly. I know we're muted a little bit early here. What time is it? Hey, Pam. I see your name. Welcome. Okay. All right. This is so weird. Okay. Hi, Pam. I see you. Okay, so I think it's about 5 after, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Let's see, where am I? Well, okay. So hello, everybody. It's great to see you off to the side there. And I know that we're muted. And if you didn't get my email, I have said in my email that at about 5 after, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody so that we can you all can have a quiet practice without distractions. And so I'm going to also remove pictures off the side so that you won't be distracted by that either. And it's another experiment to see how our practice goes like this so that we can just have a quieter time. So bear with me as I make some adjustments here. And okay. So I still have your pictures, but that's okay. As long as we all stay muted, I think we'll be okay and things won't be hopping around and making the picture a little bit crazy. So here we are together. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here today. Had a nice weekend out of town and really needed that out in the woods and had a wonderful time. So I'm glad to be back here with you this morning. So when I first started teaching yoga, the emphasis in a lot of our classes was on silence and how our posture practice, our poses, the breathing, everything that we do is really geared toward creating silence in our hearts, silence in our minds, silence in our bodies, so that we can really sit with silence. So that's the theme of our class today. And as we're practicing together, I'm going to invite you to become aware of silence as you walk through our practice, and hopefully I'll be able to I'll guide you in that. So let's go ahead and just rest back onto your mats to begin. And we'll walk through our opening sequence this morning. This week I received a card, and part of the message on the card was from Isaiah 30, and I'm going to share that with you today as part of our message. So as you're resting down, at the beginning of our quarantine, silence became really prevalent in our lives, I'm sure. And there was a time that for me, I wanted to get up and run around and make a lot of noise because it was so quiet all the time. But now, as we are looping back around and have been through so many stages of this season, maybe it's time to start observing silence again, because there's so many noises out there, so many voices that are speaking to us from all different directions. So as you look around your environment, I invite you to begin to soften your eyes, silence the eyes. I know that you're just getting here, so take your time. And we'll just look. Maybe you'll notice something you hadn't noticed before in your space. Just look. And taking a moment to note that underneath that looking, underneath that noticing is silence. And then noticing what you hear, taking a moment to listen. And as you listen, can you hear whatever sounds are around you, but also notice that supporting ground of silence? Underneath the sound, underneath my spoken word, is a river of silence. It's moving through us, it's moving among us, moving throughout creation. Mother Teresa tells us to notice the moon, notice the stars. See how nature, trees, flowers, grass grow in silence. The moon, the sun, how they move in silence. In the silence of the heart, God speaks. So I invite you now to close your eyes if that's comfortable. And take 1 second or two to just listen for silence. And out of that brief period of silence, begin to turn your gaze inward and notice your body resting here. The mat comes up to meet you and support you fully. We come from a morning of being and doing and running around and doing whatever we had to do to get here, to be fully supported and rest. So how does that feel for you this morning to come home to a place of silence and rest? Come home to yourself. So then noticing your body, notice how your body feels, notice what you're bringing with you today, any quirks, any cranky places, any places of pain, but also places of ease, places of receptivity, openness, joy. And then beginning gently to turn your thoughts and awareness out now to the breath. Your breath in your body, right here, right now. Maybe noticing how the breath feels as it cools your nostrils on the way in and warms them on the way out. Just notice where your breath is taking you this morning. What awareness do you have as you take your breath in? Can you notice your body expanding maybe? Maybe that space pushing through the circulation of awareness through your body, that openness, all the energy centers of your body beginning to respond to that life-giving, life force breath, God's breath moving in, breathing in you today. And then if you'd like, maybe slowing down the breath and taking a longer inhale as your belly expands to receive your breath. And as you exhale, your body might settle a little. Notice how it feels for you today. Maybe hearing your breath moving in. And I'm going to ask you to notice this morning. We've done this before, but take a moment now to very mindfully notice that moment of silence at the top of your inhale, a holy pause, and then the silence at the bottom of your exhale, another holy pause. Just notice. And so noticing the rhythm of your breath, one of the many beautiful rhythms of our world of seasons and days and heartbeats. The rhythm of your breath moving in, moving out. And so as you notice your breath, I'll share with you a scripture for this morning from Isaiah 30, as promised. And this is a message from the prophet Isaiah to the culture he was living in, but it's also very much a message for us as we feel that we always have to be doing and running and achieving, wanting to do things our own way and in our own pace. But God says to us here through Isaiah, this is what the sovereign Lord, the Holy One of Israel, says. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. But you said, no, we will speed our own course on horses. Therefore you will speed in flight from your enemies. You said, we will ride upon swift steeds, doing our own way. Therefore will they who pursue you be swift. Therefore the Lord earnestly waits, expecting, longing, looking to be gracious to you. And therefore he lifts himself up that he may have mercy on you and show loving kindness to you. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed, happy, fortunate, to be envied are all who earnestly wait for him, who expect and look and long for him. His victory, his favor, his love, his peace, his joy, his matchless, unbroken companionship. So what would it be like for you today to just allow yourself to settle into that place of God's unbroken companionship without rushing, just allowing yourself to be silent within? Even with our movement, allow the movement to remind you of that silent river that runs through your body, through your heart, through your mind, through all of your consciousness, inviting you to come home to God's presence. So as we're here now, let's begin to move by taking a big stretch, arms overhead, taking in your breath. How does your breath feel for you today? Just notice how your breath's moving through your body. Good. So here we are, stretching out, getting those sinews and muscles moving, creating space. And then we'll draw knees to chest. Take your knees in. And then maybe rock side to side a little bit, noticing that support of the mat underneath, giving you a little massage today. Breathe. And draw your legs back to center. Your knees are snuggled in towards you. Your hands on your kneecaps. And we'll just separate the knees and begin to row the hip sockets around side to side. So what that means, it's like rowing a boat. Your hands are on your kneecaps. You're just separating your knees apart from each other, circling them away from you, and then drawing them back towards you. So you're just circling around nice and light and easy. Just going to keep it light and easy, no pressure, no forcing. And then reverse those circles. So pressing out and away and around. Breathe. Good, and we'll come back to center. And on your next inhale, if you're using your inhale to to work with your motion, pressing soles of your feet to the sky. And then exhale, draw your knees in. And inhale up. So your hands can be on your thighs, they can be next to you, whatever feels right. I like to have my hands on my legs because it gives me just a yummy kind of connection with myself. It kind of gathers my awareness back in to my body, makes that connection. And so take it one more time. Legs up, press your heels up, exhale, knees in, snuggle your knees in towards you. Good. Good. So let's just roll on over to your side for facing the computer and then or your screen, and just resting your head on your elbow for a moment to make that transition. And we'll come up, pressing slowly up to sitting. Take your time. So if you have a pillow or a blanket or a towel that's folded and you can put it underneath your hips, you're welcome to take a perch up there on your support. And we'll come to center. So if you're comfortable seated with crossed legs, stay here. If you'd like to take your legs out in front, that's more comfortable, then go there. But wherever you are, I invite you to lift your heart up away from your belly button, just lengthening up through the abdominal wall, pressing your abdominal wall in gently to support you, and lifting up through your spine. You're going to notice where you are, maybe shift around a little bit, get the flesh out from underneath your rear end so that you can feel the groundedness of your sit bones there. And so we'll sit up nice and tall here and think about, as you lift here, drawing the collarbones wide so you have plenty of room for your lungs here. Opening up the chest, and then maybe take your hands down by your side or on your thighs or your knees, wherever you're comfortable. And we'll sit up tall, take a breath. And on your exhale, we'll just drop our chin to our chest. And inhale, take your face up. And exhale back to center. And then we'll take the right ear over the right shoulder. So go ahead and just drop your right ear over to the right. And breathe. If you want to cross your legs here, come to that comfortable seat, that's fine. So we're just opening up along the left side of our bodies here. And then when you inhale, come up through center, and we'll exhale other way. So this time, as your left ear goes over your left shoulder, think about your right side of your neck, just opening, receiving your breath. Good. And then coming back up to center. Let's take the shoulders up and back. Just releasing here in the shoulders, nice and easy. Breathe. And other way. Good. And so let's take our hands out in front. I was talking to one of my massage clients this week, and she was saying how her hands have been tight and they feel like you're making a little fist a lot in your hands. And maybe that's from tension. Maybe it's from doing a lot of hand work. A lot of us have been doing, I've been doing my beads and a lot of things, we've been doing a lot on our devices, a lot of things that make our hands get all scrunched up like little claws. So what we're going to do today is work some on the hands, and you can practice this yourself so that you can bring comfort to your hands during your other time, your time off. So we'll take our hands up and just stretch the fingers out. Take a breath. And then exhale, make a gentle fist. And so notice how you feel as you unfurl your hands, take a reach through the fingers, and then make a gentle fist. And we'll open and close and open and close, and then just soften your hands, and we'll just begin to circle the wrists now. Circling your wrists around. Notice how that feels for your fingers. Really work the fingers. You can go either back and forth all around. You're just kind of opening up gently in the wrist and fingers without a lot of strain. Make it nice and easy and light. Good. So let's take our hands out in front of us, and we'll take one palm out, take the other fingers on top, and pull back a little bit, just gently, so that you can feel that nice opening along the bottom, the palm of your hand, and the finger pads press out. Breathe. And then we'll take other side. Just take the other palm out, press, and pull back. Easy. Good. And then let's take the palms out and just take our hands down and up. Down and up. Good. And then turn your palms up. And we'll take our forearms parallel here. So then just keeping your palms turned up, turn your fingertips toward each other and away. And toward each other and away. Breathe. Sit up nice and tall here. In and out. In and out. Good. And that's just a gentle shake. Maybe do a little hula side to side, a little climb up that stairway here. And coming back down. Little exotic moves here today. Good. And we'll take hold of one elbow and circle out your elbow. Lasso here and other way. And then go to the other side. Take your other elbow, circle around. So remembering as we're doing this, we're also preparing our bodies to be still and our minds to be quiet. So when you can still your body a little bit, when you're getting your shakies out and all these places of tension, you're also preparing your whole being for silence. Good. So we got the elbows, we got the wrists, we did a little bit of the shoulder, just roll the shoulders back. Then you can take your whole arm with it. So you're doing a little backstroke here. Allowing your shoulders to stay nice and easy. And then we'll swim forward, take a little swim. Good. Good. And now we'll take palms of the hands together and elbows together. So soften the shoulders here. Notice the soles of your hands, the palms of your hands touching, coming home to yourself and awareness there. And on your inhale, let's grow the arms out. So we're working into the chest now a little bit and the upper back. And draw your elbows in and open. So all of this forward motion that we do every day, we need a little bit of openness in the chest to balance that out. So we'll inhale, open. Exhale, close. And inhale, open here. Stay here in your goalposts. See how that feels. Lift the elbows up and keep the shoulders soft, and we'll just press the elbows and hands forward. So this is really rotating that shoulder socket. So notice how you could feel if you're comfortable. If you aren't, back off, take your shoulders down a little bit. You might want to play with the level of the shoulders, but just making sure that it's nice and easy. And then come up. And then we'll take hands to center, come through center. Take an inhale when you're ready. Swoop your arms up over your head. Palms touch. And then take a breath, reach up. And as you exhale, you're just going to lower your palms behind you toward the bottom of the back of your neck. So what we're doing here is just lengthening in the back of our arms, the triceps. So we'll inhale, reach up, keep your shoulders soft, your face relaxed. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And we'll do that a couple times. Inhale up. Exhale down and stay. And breathe. And breathe. Easy breath. Let your shoulders be soft. So you might really be feeling this, the back of your arms. And then come up. And we'll float your hands down. And come to rest with your hands beside you. So take a moment here in quiet and notice how you feel. And close your eyes here. Lengthen your spine. Notice the energy moving through your arms, your fingertips. Good. Good. So we'll take the right palm out and take an inhale, lift. Exhale over. Take a nice little side bend here. And we'll inhale, come up, change sides. Exhale, other way. And so follow your own breath. Allow your inhale to float your arms up, your exhale to float your arms over. Take a little reach, keeping your hips grounded. Inhale up, float your arms over, other way. And as we come to the other side, we'll inhale, exhale, come back down, find your hand meeting the mat, and then take a reach and stay for a couple of breaths. So the teaching used to be that you would come here, take your gaze up under your arm. I'm gonna just invite you to try it if you'd like, keeping that top shoulder relaxed. But more recent teaching is saying keep your head in line with your spine so that you don't wrench out your neck or find discomfort there. Just see what you think, how you feel. Keep that outer hip grounded, so we're really lengthening through the waistline here, through the rib cage, all those little muscles that attach one rib to the other, the intercostals. Breathe. Good. So when you're ready, take your breath, allow your inhale to float you up through center. Find that nice little balancing place, that floaty place in between, and then come on up and exhale over. So once again, top shoulder, press away from your ear. Breathe. You can even allow the inhale to float you back and away a little bit. The exhale to move you further in. Allow the breath to really move through your body. And then stay and reach. Press. Breathe. And as you're ready, inhaling, coming up, both arms come up, your palms touch in center. Notice that wonderful connection between your finger pads of your hands, and then draw your hands down through center. Take your hands to your heart, and we'll just rest one palm on our heart, other palm on our heart, and take a moment, quiet. So notice, if you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. We'll come back to our breath. And maybe noticing here that sweet little moment of silence at the top of your inhale. Silence at the bottom of your exhale. And just try that for a couple of breaths. And then gathering an awareness of the silence, and turning your awareness to your heart space, emotional heart, spiritual heart space, and allowing that silence at the top and the bottom of your inhale and exhale to move in a little more deeply into a place of the heart. Where is your breath? Notice how this feels for you. And so from here, very gently, floating forward, take your hands down to the floor, either beside you, on your knees maybe, to the floor in front, and just take a forward fold. And this is a really nice place to gather in. Find your breath again. So this is also a hip opener. You might be able to feel it in the back of your hip, whatever leg is in front. And then we'll press away from the floor, come on back up, climb back up, and we'll change feet. Other foot in front. And sitting up here, just take a nice tall spine, take your breath. And then exhale, fold forward. Take your hands wherever you are comfortable, beside you, your knees, the floor. Just come on down. Breathe here. And once again, taking a moment to notice that silence that flows underneath the breath. And then we'll walk our hands back up, walk yourself up, sitting up tall. Good, and let's take our legs out, pressing out through the feet. Take a moment to feel the strength of your legs. So the legs, if you've had them crossed, they might be a little pinchy in the knees right now. So just kind of press and press. And reach forward. Take your hands down to your ankles and give yourself the massage there that we love to do. So making that connection with yourself. That also gives your nervous system the signal to settle. Okay, all is well. Come home, come on home. Take a little massage around your knees there. You know, you feel all those little bumpy bones around the outsides and insides of your knees. That's where your muscles attach, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, your shin muscles, your calves, all around there. So that's a nice place to give a little extra love to. There's also some lymph nodes underneath there that could probably use a little support, a little motion to get the lymphatic system moving today. And then just come all the way up to your hips. Good, and then we'll go around behind us with our little loose fist there and make those biscuits today. We're gonna just thump out the rear end. Take a breath, good. And shake out your hands, get yourself settled here. So we'll take the right foot into the inside of your thigh, or maybe down on the inside of your calf, whatever feels good. And we'll do a little head to knee pose, a little Janu Shirshasana. So we're gonna sit up tall. Today we'll do it as we align the spine. Just sit up nice and tall. Take your arms up. So you'll feel that length from the hips all the way up through your side body, out through your fingertips, way up. Shoulders are soft. Take a breath and lift your heart. On your exhale, we're just going to hinge forward from the hip socket without rounding, without crunching over. We're just going to reach way out. And when you get to the place where your body says, that's enough, stop there. Let your hands rest down wherever they're comfortable, either on your leg, beside your leg, down on your ankle. Breathe and then fold forward. So if you've been sitting a lot all weekend and riding around doing whatever you're doing, you might feel this a lot in the back of your legs. So just take a moment to notice. Gather in again and maybe notice where is your body quiet? Where do you need more silence in your body? Maybe you need to just settle a little bit. No forcing, no straining. Just breathe here. It's a very gentle release of the back of your leg. Just notice that. Pressing out through the sole of that front foot. And then on your inhale, begin to draw your sternum away from your belly button and sit up tall. And we'll take this leg up. So take it, bend in the knee here. And we'll plant the foot about a hand's breadth away from your other leg. So you get a little space in between here. It doesn't have to be jammed in center because you'll distort your hip alignment. So you have a little space here to keep the legs in alignment. So you have your knee up. And we'll take the opposite arm out. So we'll take an inhale, reach. And exhale, come around. Take your hand maybe to your knee. Maybe you want to come to the outside of the knee, but keep that shoulder down. The other hand sails around behind you and we'll lift the spine. Press down in this bottom leg. Press a little bit in this foot. And then begin to make your twist. So the top of your head lengthens up. The whole spine lifts and turns, okay? So we're going to take it real easy. Just notice how you feel. Easy breath. Allow your head to follow last. So as you're here and your gaze meets another little bit of scenery in your room, take a moment to take that in. Take a moment to notice what you're seeing. Notice where you are. Notice what you hear. And then maybe in your breath, just take a moment of silence. Take a breath in. Notice the silence at the top of your inhale, silence at the bottom of your exhale. And then very gently take your inhale, release your twist a little bit, and then exhale. We're going to float all the way around the other way just for a second to counterpose that twist. So come on back to center now, and we will change sides. So we're going to take the opposite leg out, other knee in to either the inside of your thigh or outside of your calf, inside of your calf, and sit up tall. So find your position here, get yourself aligned. We'll take arms up. Relax your shoulders, reach up, a lot of energy moving from your hips all the way up, out your fingertips to the sky. Take a breath, and then exhale, hinge at your hips, just glide forward, sail out towards me, here we are. It's like you and I are reaching for each other's hands here. And then take your hands down, pull your sternum gently away from your belly button, get some energy in that long leg there, and then just hinge forward. So you want to think about lengthening out from your heart towards your foot. Not so much dropping your chin to your chest or rounding your spine, but just lengthening out. The sole of the front foot is pressed out. Spread your toes, see how that feels. And so this is another time of gathering in. I'm going to invite you here to close your eyes if you'd like. Notice your breath. Feel your body. So as you feel your breath, soften your shoulders, soften your face, soften your jaw, your eyes in their sockets. And notice how your breath sails in through the nose, down through the back of your throat, down your spine, all into every limb, every cell, every blood vessel, everything, just filling with that breath. And then as you inhale next time, just walk yourself back, come on up, and we'll take this knee up. Once again, you want to have a little space between your foot and the opposite leg so your hips can stay aligned. Press out through the sole of that front foot. Take opposite arm out. So if your right knee is bent, left arm is out. Take a second to check in. And we'll inhale, reach out, and exhale, just swirl around. Your opposite hand comes around behind you. You're gonna hold on either to your knee with your hand, or you can come to the outside of the knee. Sit up tall. Notice where your head is. It's not tilting back or really down or hunching down towards your leg. The head stays right in line with your spine. So take an inhale here and then exhale and continue your twist. Go on around. Find your breath. And once again, as you make your way around, as your face turns, notice what you see. Notice what you're hearing. Notice your breath. And on your inhale, allow your spine to grow a little taller, maybe out of the groundedness of your pelvis. And on your exhale, maybe you'll twist a little farther. Maybe you won't. That's okay. Shoulders are resting. Spine is lifting. Breathe. And now notice how the breath moving through your body is swirling through the spiral of your spine. And on your next inhale, let's lift the spine tall. On your exhale, we'll slowly begin to make our way all around the other side to release. Good. And then come back to center. We'll take the soles of the feet to the floor. Take your hands underneath your thighs here, or you can keep them on the outsides of your knees if that feels good. And then inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. We can do a little seated camel here. Exhale, round camel. What am I saying? Cat, cow. This is ride the camel, right? Whatever it is, cat, cow, camel. So you're gonna exhale back and inhale, lift. So this is just realigning our spine in center. Exhale, scoop the pelvic pubic bone up, round your back behind you, soft shoulders. Inhale, lift. And exhale back. Good, so do that a couple of times. Inhale up and exhale back. Good. One more time, come up. Exhale, round, float back. And then this time, press your legs out in front of you and we'll just flex and point through our feet. So our ankles moving around, press your toes out. I'm just doing it with my hands. You can do it with your hands too if you want, just so that you can see what your feet are supposed to be doing in case it's not showing up. And we're just flexing, pointing back and forth. And then we'll circle around, breathe, and other way. Good, so just stop and center here. Spread your toes out nice and wide. So this weekend when we were away, there were a lot of little birdies. They're called dark-eyed juncos, and they're really, really cute. They're little birds about this big, and they're a slate gray, dark slate gray with a little light gray underbelly. And they're very bold. They come right up and eat crumbs and just come right up right next to us. We would throw pepper crumbs out on the porch. They'd come right up. But I was noticing their feet. And so we talked about having little birdie feet, and I was really looking at his feet. So he has these little toes that are all spread out, but that one really cracks me up, that one little birdie toe that goes all the way back behind him. So he has a lot of support. He just hops around on these toes that are spread really wide. Of course, we don't have to have a toe spread behind us, but if you think about it, how bird feet just press out. I mean, they're just hopping around on them all the time. So look at your toes, spread them out, and then relax, and then spread them out, and relax, and then just shake them out. Shake out your legs, shake out your feet, shake out your arms, whatever you want to do. Just shake it out. Now, let's come around to all fours. And we're going to do today something called sunbird, which is a little core move, which takes a spinal balance or a cat-cow. It takes it a little bit farther. So we're going to come to hands and knees, and we'll start with a little cat-cow. So in alignment there with your hips over your knees. Hands comfortable, maybe a little ahead of you if you need to. But just come to your table, let your belly draw in. And then we'll take an inhale, lengthen out, look up into cow. And exhale into cat. And inhale into your cow. So just take it at your own pace a few times here. And this is a great place to observe that silence. At the bottom of your exhale, as you round into your cat and you get to the bottom of that exhale, notice. And as you come up into your cow, you lengthen your spine, you come up and there's this beautiful suspension of the breath. And then you exhale, rounding into cat. Allow the exhale to round your spine. Allow your inhale to lengthen. And then we'll come back to table. And we'll take the right leg out behind us. Take one leg out. You're going to lift it up. And if you can, we'll take opposite arm out. So we'll start here. On your exhale, you're going to draw your elbow in, your knee in toward each other and round. On your inhale, you'll take the arm out and the leg out. On your exhale, you'll float it back into center. So there's that gathering in with awareness. There's a lengthening out with awareness. And if you want to do it just without the rounding, you can. You can just stay centered without the rounding of your spine. And so we're taking exhale, come on in. Inhale, lengthen and reach. We'll do it one more time. Exhale, come on in. Inhale, lengthen. And then replace your hand down, take your knee down, and then we'll go back to child's pose. So just press back into child's pose, take a breath. Maybe your hands back by your heels, just soften here. And then we'll come on up and come to the other side. So your left leg is going to come out behind you. So you want to keep some energy working through that left leg. Don't just let it hang there. Press out. Right arm comes up. And then, so if you want to keep it very simple, you're just going to take out and in, and out and in. So that's one way to do it, which is fine. The other way is to expand in opposite directions, and on your exhale, really gather in, take a cat tilt. And inhale, grow. Exhale, gather in. And just take it to your level of comfort. So no matter what you're doing, you're working your core here, you're working your belly, you've got some back strength you're working. Keep your hips as level as you can. So you really have to work that core. Reaching out, drawing in. A couple more times, reaching out, drawing in. And last time, take it out. Long, easy breath. Long breath on your exhale. Take it in, gather it into center. And then we'll take our hand down, our knee down, and just wag your tail a little bit. Breathe. Good. So where are we now anyway? Oh yeah. Okay, so let's take right foot forward into a lunge. If you have a blanket or towel that you want to put under this back knee, please do that. And we'll just take it forward. So remember again, also the hips here are level. You're pressing through, but long in the spine. So you want to lift up your heart. So once you find yourself situated, take a moment to settle. Breathe. So we're lengthening out back through that back hip flexor. Good. So see how you feel here. If you're comfortable here, stay here and play with this lunge. If you'd like, you can take a little, a high lunge with a little twist. So let's see what that looks like. You're pressing through. You'll take your hands down to the mat, maybe fingertips like Spider-Man hands. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back thigh. So in the back and the knee, see how that feels. Maybe play with it a little bit. Where are you tight? Where you're feeling that. And if you're comfortable here, you're going to lengthen your spine. And there's the foot, the knee that's in front. You'll turn your chest toward it. I'm going to have to turn away from you this way. And then your hand will come up. So you're reaching out in either a little twist or just playing with your lunge. Breathe. And then we'll float our hand down. And if you're in a lunge here, you're just going to press back. So we'll set the hips back, take the top toes up, press back into a little stretch there. And come forward, take this leg back, and we'll go to the other side. So we'll take opposite foot up, press out into your lunge. So you know you've got your nice lifted heart here. Shoulders are broad. So we're pressing out now through the opposite hip flexor. So we'll press out, take your hands down to the floor if you can, and then let's just see how this feels. Notice how you're feeling in your hip flexor. So if you want to stay here and just sort of float back and forth and play with that lunge, please do that. If you'd like to take it a little bit farther, you can tuck the back toes under, lift that leg up. So you're really pressing out with energy through your back heel, all the way through the heel. Take your hand down, maybe take your outside hand to the outside of your knee here, and then that will help you open your chest a little bit. So you're lengthening out again through the belly button, through the chest. And then take the top arm up. Let's take a little twist here. So you're pulling out in all directions, really pressing out through the back leg, long through the belly, reaching up from the heart space all the way through your fingertips. And breathe. Good. Ooh, press it out, press it out. Easy breath. Find that place of silence here. And then float down. Take your back knee down. And then shift back. Take the front toes up. Good. And then just shifting forward a little bit. Take your leg back. And we'll come into a downward facing dog. So press back in your down dog. So this is where you're going to catch your breath a little bit. Press one heel down, other heel down, both feet down. And as you're ready, walk your feet to your hands. And hands back towards your feet. We'll take our hands to our knees. And press up slowly. And come on up to standing. Hello. So as we come to standing, once again, we'll come to that place where we gather back into the heart. So we want to realign our thoughts and get used to being standing here. So let's come to center. And take your feet a little wider than your hips. Maybe we'll just jangle it out a little bit. Let the arms go, the legs go, bounce it out. And then we'll move from our jangling around into our little twirls. The arms go. Sometimes they're when you're focusing on what you're doing, there tends to get really serious, which is good. I mean, you want that silence, you want the gathering in, but it's nice just to cut loose sometimes, just shake it all. Whew, whatever you need to do right now, just shake it up, okay? All right, good. Run around the room, whatever, take a jog, whatever you want to do here. So, but eventually, we'll all meet back here on the mat. And we're going to do a couple of half sun salutations. So just coming into center here. Let's take our hands to our heart. So after all that running around, whatever you've been doing, just come back home to yourself. And when you're ready, on your inhale, allow the breath to take your arms up. Allow your exhale to gently dive you forward. Take it forward, forward fold. And inhale takes you halfway up. Maybe hands are on your shins or fingertips to the floor. And then exhaling, forward fold. Release the back of your neck. And then inhale, bend your knees a little, swoop up. Take your arms up over your head. And today, release out to the side, float the arms down. And back up to your heart. Take a breath. Find a place of ease, a place of quiet. And now very mindfully, we're going to walk through that again. And I'm going to ask you to just take a moment to really observe the silence that follows, that supports the flow of this practice, okay? So let's take hands to heart. On your inhale, float up. On your exhale, dive forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, swoop, float. Touch, release, float down, silence. And back to your heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float and dive. Halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Release, float down. Hands to center. Good. So taking your hands down, let's turn to the side, one side or the other, and take the feet apart. We're going to go into warrior one. So we're going to need to swivel the hips around toward the short side of your mat. Maybe you can think of it this way, that the front of your hips, the hip pointers, are parallel to that short end of your mat down there. So you're turning that way. And the front toes face forward. Back toes are angled out a little bit, as always. So just kind of get there and play with it a little bit. See where your back foot is most comfortable. See where you feel most stable. Front toes face forward. Kind of play with that. See how far around you want to go. But there's always that stability. There's always that. It's kind of a balance of sucking up energy from the ground, that groundedness, and up through the crown of your head. But there's also the stability of pressing out into the earth. So it's that yin yang, that hard and soft thing about yoga that's balancing out those two qualities always. And you're suspended with ease right in the center. So here we are. We're going to go into our warrior one. So let's take arms up over your head, soft shoulders, gazes ahead. Find that, find your strong legs, and then very gently just bend into your front knee. So the front knee just faces forward. It just guides out, tracks out straight ahead. And when you look down, you might just see your big toe poking out. Press out with strength through your feet and your legs. And we'll just take a few breaths here. So notice the quiet. It's a quiet strength. As your energy goes from your heart all the way up through your arms, through your fingertips, through the crown of your head. The energy flows down from the heart, down through the belly, down through the legs, down into the ground. Breathe, focus. You need to take your hands down to your hips, that's fine. Good, so we're going to take a breath here and reach up, and we're going to exhale and open our chest out toward me. So you're going to go into a warrior two. I don't know where you're going, back, forward. So pressing out into a warrior two, which means that you might want to widen your stance a little bit, maybe not. You're pressing into that front knee. The front knee presses out toward the pinky toe side of your foot. And we're settling into a focused gaze here. So normally we do a little flow here. Today we're just going to find that silence and the strength. So breathing. Feel all your muscles. Notice your feet settling into the mat. Notice the muscles of your legs hugging the bones to keep them stable. Notice your tummy lifting, heart lifting. Breathe, focus, find that place of quiet. And so from here, we're going to straighten your front leg. Just straighten your front leg. Take your hands to your hips. We're going to turn the chest forward here. So our feet are still where they were. Get your hips settled there. And then we'll take the back, where the back foot is angled in. Take the hip on that side, press it out toward that hip. Lengthen out, and we're going to press out into triangle. So we're just going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Lift your arm up. Good. You need to kind of tuck your tail a little bit here so you're not sinking in your lower back. But there's a nice strong angles through all your limbs, a nice hugging in of your muscles. Good. And then we'll come up, pull up. Ooh, take yourself out here, side to side. Take both sets of toes forward. And we'll realign here in center with the arms out. The legs out. Take your hands to your hips and gaze up. And then a nice dive forward, forward fold. So always nice in a forward fold to find that quiet. So it's a good place to just find some silence. And then we'll come on up, take your hands to your knees, coming up. Ease your shoulders out, and we'll turn your feet to the other side. So we're going to go all the way around, swivel around again to your warrior one. So once again, the hip pointers are parallel with the shorter end of your mat. Find your stance so that you're stable here. Take your arms up, take a breath, and then just sail on into your warrior one on this side. So the hips are pressing forward, belly's lifted. So you're going to find that gentle but strong and quiet gaze here, a soft, strong gaze for the eyes. Nice reach for the arms. Strengthen your legs. Breathe. And then we'll take one more breath in when you're ready and allow your exhale to blossom you out into warrior two. So you're just going to Keep the hips right in alignment with the shoulder, so we're not breaking and reaching forward this way. We're just sinking here that way. So it goes directly down, arms float out. Take your gaze over your front fingertips. Lift your heart. Strong in your legs. If you need to back up a little bit, back up. Whatever you need to do. Breathe, listen, feel. And then we'll take our hands to our hips. Swivel your chest around to the front. We're just going to lean to the side. Take this outer hip back behind you, the one where the foot is angled in. Just run this hand down your leg to wherever you feel comfortable, but not right on your knee joint. Maybe up here, maybe a little lower. Press out. And your arm comes up if that's comfortable for you, or stays on your hip. Breathe, gathering up strength through your legs. Really pull the legs in. Good. So find your breath, find your gaze. What do you see here? How does your body feel? Where's your breath? Where's the silence? Can you feel that silence that's underneath maybe whatever challenge you have here? And then we'll use the top arm to pull ourselves up. Turn your toes forward. Take our hands to our hips, maybe just kind of swivel them around a little. Inhale, lift, and exhale, forward fold. So settling in. And we'll bend our knees here and walk your feet toward one another, toward each other. Have a seat. Good. Just sit off to the side. And take your legs around. And we'll just take another forward fold here, just dropping forward. And breathe, gather in. So as you're here, really gathering your awareness into a place of quiet. And as you're ready, come on up, and we'll just, as you come up, smoothing your scalp a little bit, maybe just give yourself a little scalp massage. And as you do that, it's a reminder to allow your thoughts to really begin to settle. Give yourself a little ear massage here. And if you'd like, you can tug the tops of your ears toward the top of your head. And then the middle ear straight out. And your earlobes down. And then preparing to just rest down now. We're going to turn along the long side of your mat, reach up, and we'll exhale and roll down slowly as you can. And support on your legs if you need to, but rolling down. Stretching out your legs, take your arms up over your head in a big reach. And then coming to a place of rest. So if this is our shavasana, our final relaxation. So if you have any little kinks or places that still need to be worked out, maybe a little twist, maybe a little movement, go ahead and take that so that you can rest down comfortably. Also, if you maybe need a pillow underneath your knees or something underneath your head, please take that. So the purpose of our final relaxation is to allow everything that we've done with our bodies to come to rest. This is where we begin to come home to silence. And so I invite you, as you rest down, to begin to release any tension that might be left anywhere in your body. Do a little body scan, maybe looking at your feet, and notice if you're holding your toes tight. let go of your toes and your ankles. And releasing any tension around your knees and thighs. Any tension in your hips, belly. Notice your chest, your shoulders, arms. And so as your arms rest a little ways out from your body, you might want to experiment with turning your palms up. You can even rest your hands on your belly, whatever is comfortable for you. Just releasing tension there. Whatever makes you feel most safe and secure, at ease. And softening your throat, and your neck, your jaw, and your eyes, your scalp. And notice the gentleness of your breath here again. We go back to that place where we notice a release of any control of the breath and just let it be what it needs to be. So as we rest here in our final relaxation, I'm going to share with you a reading from an author. Her name is Christine Walters Paintner. She is the abbess of an online abbey called Abbey for the Arts. She provides classes and contemplative practices for people who live in the world. Wonderful place to be. And I'll share this reading with you today on silence. She begins by quoting Joyce Rupp, who was a Catholic nun who writes beautiful books on contemplative practices. And she says, "You stand outside the door, reading one more book about how to open the door. You note in your journal one more thought about what it might be like. Yet the longings of your heart remain. Let today be the day you open the door of your heart to God." And Christine says, that door is usually the door to silence. You perhaps read many wise and wonderful books about being contemplative. You journal about what it would be like to have more silence in your life. You think all kinds of beautiful thoughts about silence, and yet how often do you actually make the space for silence to enter your being? How often do you simply let go of all the striving, the desire to do and achieve and make perfect, and simply rest into the one who is already perfect, the one who holds you in a stillness more beautiful than anything you can imagine for yourself? It is simply a gift to receive. Let today be the day you open the door of your heart and simply receive the silence. Simply listen to what is shimmering there for you. So beginning now to very gently guide your awareness back to your body. Notice, just notice what you're thinking, what you're feeling. How is it for you to rest in silence today? Sometimes as we rest in silence, and the waters become clear and smooth, we can see things that are maybe a little more difficult to deal with. Maybe they begin to rise and float up to the surface. And that's when we go to our breath and let everything that comes up, that needs to come up, just let it be. So noticing your breath now, maybe taking a couple of deeper breaths. And notice if the deeper breath wants to move your body in some way. Maybe your body's responding by stretching a little bit, by reaching out, moving. And then if it would feel right for you, guiding knees to chest, if that would feel good. Rocking maybe back and forth, side to side. Just notice what your body's asking for. Coming out of silence today. Just take that. Listen to it. And then taking some time to press up slowly to sitting. And as you make your way up, we'll take hands to heart. And let's take our palms and just rest them on the heart space. And I'll close with our prayer for us today. Father God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, you encourage us to find rest and repentance and quietness and trust. So we offer you ourselves today, our minds, our hearts, our bodies, that we might listen and pay attention and notice those moments of quietness and our busyness, but that we also might hear you when you're calling us to be truly quiet and settle in silence, so we might hear you better. We offer you ourselves that we might love you indeed with all of our heart, with all of our soul, with all of our mind, and with all of our strength. As with your help, we love our neighbor as ourselves. In Jesus' name, we offer up this practice. Amen. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Shalom.